Hey guys, this is Locke. In today's video, I'm going to talk all about using Black Rose Helena in the arena. As you can see right now, I am rank 306, so I've been doing a lot of battles with her within, say, like the top 1000 rank or so, and these are some of the observations that I wanted to share. So first of all, I do want to say that I don't have a concrete strategy. I don't know the best way to use her yet, but there are quite a few things that I learned, especially in just the current environment of Arena. Like, what do I expect? Um, what are some problems that I'm running into? Where does she excel? What kind of teams does she have trouble facing? Things like that. And obviously, in Arena, with the map changes, whenever the map changes, you need to figure out the most optimal, say, location to set up your units, and you need to figure out the best buffs, which buffs to turn on and off. I don't have any of that information yet. I'm still like trying to figure things out as I go along. But still, I made quite a headway, in my opinion, about just a lot of things pertaining to Black Rose Helena and the arena, and I want to share that. First of all, this is the team that I'm using. Um, and you will notice that I am using Zombie Ryru's TMR on Black Rose Helena. And actually, if you notice here, my weapon proficiencies are only B, and I'm using two pieces of equipment that are A. So her stats are a little bit lower than it should be, and she's also only level 108, as compared to, say, level 115 or level 120. So she is a little bit weaker, but still, her magic is 1400. I think, using her here gives you quite a good idea of what to expect. So I'm going to get into that comment about the Ryder's TMR. So I mentioned before in the video that I was talking about her the first time, I was like, I think re-raise is going to be key to surviving Black Rose Helena, and I actually found that this is really helpful when I'm fighting opponent King Mont. Because this is an auto battle environment, I can't exactly position my units so that they don't get limit burst, right? And this limit burst is powerful because he usually uses it when he's in range to berserk two of my units. So if two of my units are berserked, sometimes that's the game right there. I lose. However, one way of removing berserk is to die, right? If my unit gets killed, then the berserk effect is gone. If that unit has re-raise, that's basically a removal of berserk, but obviously your HP is quite low now, but at least you remove berserk that way, right? And I found that that saved me on so many occasions. Like, I mean, I started without using this. I started using Garvel's TMR. I was using, this one, but I found that uh, you know that re-raise actually comes in clutch so many times that um, I found it to be really, really helpful. And almost everyone that I fought had King Mont. I try to attack people that that have good teams. Otherwise, what's the point, right? But I made sure I did not attack anybody with Black Rose Helena. And the reason I did not attack any Black Rose Helena was because I want to see how people that don't have Black Rose Helena do against my Black Rose Helena. That was the whole point of what I was trying to find information. So that's what I did. And at the end of the video, when I finish talking, I'm actually going to show you three battles, three arena battles that I did, and you can take a look for yourself to see how these battles went. But anyway, this is the reason why I have this zombie TMR equipped, because I find that that's one of the best ways to dealing with King Mont's limit burst. Secondly, I have the defense bracer disable resist on King Mont as well, because in one of the battles he got disabled and I lost very easily because he wasn't able to do anything. He had his hate up, but he died quickly, and he it was just useless. And I didn't want that to happen again. I mean, his faith is only at 50, but still, this will prevent that, and it has pretty good defense. It has a defense value of 16, so I find that that's pretty okay, and I'm comfortable with that. So that's why I have the defense bracer there. So now let's get into some of the teams that I've been fighting. Let me see if I can find examples of these teams actually, because that would be great to talk about. So I fought a team like this, but he had a lot more spirit than this guy does. He had 60 spirit, and he actually tanked quite well against my team. Two of my damage dealers are magic based. Yuna and Black Rose Helena, so they both only did about 2k damage, and in return he was able to do a lot more damage to my team. And my team is obviously a lot more squishier, so still I was able to beat him just because I had a lot more agility. I was able to get 3 attacks to his 1, and he actually did not manage to kill anyone, although he got pretty close. But it seemed pretty effective against my team to have Rain with high spirit, and a lot of people did say that in the video that I made about how do I fight against this team. There's like, oh, use Rain with high spirit, and that probably would work. So that's what I found. But the Rain that I fought, and it's actually one of the battles later on, the second battle is against a team like this with that Rain that has 60 spirit, and you can see how that battle went. But like I'm using these 3 units. What if you're fighting against a Titus instead or something, right? Like Black Rose Helena, Titus, and King Mont or something. Then that battle might go differently. And to get his Rain to have 60 spirit, he only had like 7 defense. So you have to give up something, right? So you might be really good against Black Rose Helena, but like how do you handle other teams? Like you have to make that choice. You can't be good against everything. But it was pretty effective against my team. Although I mean, I still did win because I had probably had higher agility, and I was able to chain him down eventually, basically. But I mean, as a unit, 1-on-1, he seemed like pretty well equipped to take on Black Rose Helena. Another team that I've been fighting a lot of is something like this, but let me see if we can actually find a team that has that. So basically, it's King Mont, Yuna, and Luel. The Luel team. So I fought Luel, Yuna, and King Mont, and the Luel does a lot of damage. Maybe like her damage might even be comparable to Black Rose Helena, maybe. And now I'm saying maybe because the few times that I've fought Luel, she did so much damage. Like I remember one time in a guild war, she did like something like 10k to my King Mont, and I was like, wow, where did that damage come from? So that really surprised me. So I don't want to do a review on her because I don't know anything like enough about her to really talk about her. But she does do a lot of damage. And it's because of her that I've actually changed my composition around to be able to survive magic attack a little better. The difference between her and Yuna is that you can tie up Yuna by damaging the opponent's tank. Like if my units start attacking their King Mont and his health dips below 50%, their Yuna is tied up with healing King Mont. She's not doing any damage. Luel doesn't have that problem. She just gets right to it and keeps attacking you, right? So she does a lot of damage. Still, I mean, I didn't really have too much trouble, especially with this team using Black Rose Helena as a huge damage dealer, because she still does a lot of damage to this team, including Luel. Like she has, I don't know. It wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't find surviving this team to be too hard, and I don't actually know if she does as much damage as Black Rose Helena, because of course it would depend like completely on the equipments and the gear and things like that, and also my own resistances. When I fought that Luel, I did not have any magic defense, so that's why she did like 10k. But maybe Black Rose Helena on the same setup would have done like say 13k. I'm not sure. But I do know that Luel is able to do a lot of damage, and I find that I'm running into that team quite often, even more often than I'm running into, say, like a Rain, King Mont, Yuna team. But the team that actually gives me a lot of trouble, or so far, was a team like this, where the Federica stays back and she's using Barrage. The problem with this team, well, for me, to fight this team, is that so I changed my team to have my Black Rose Helena stay back a bit and use her magic resist. I've changed her to Spellblade sub and given her magic resist because, again, I'm facing a lot of Luels, I'm facing Yunas, I'm facing Garvels, so it's better if I have higher magic resist. And you know, like I find that's pretty good. So, but because of that, I have my team kind of bunched up in one area. So Federica is easily able to barrage everyone down, and she also has a little bit of a height advantage in this map because she stays on the stairs. My team goes down to engage. Um, so I found it challenging. Like that team, like completely wiped my team before I was able to really even attack anybody. So that team might actually be able to handle a team like this. Again, I haven't fully optimized my own team. Maybe I need to have King Mont equipped with the ninja passive. Like I've taken that off and given him a shadow runner because I wanted them to stay back an extra turn. Basically, the very first turn King Mont gets, he's going to use Keys' TMR, and I want him to use that because he has a chance to use his limit burst later on. But if he uses that without the ninja passive, he does not get a chance to use Proclamation, which increases his hate. And I'm trying different things out. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll remove that so he has a chance to use this hate skill and see how the battle's going. So that's what I've been doing now and seeing how that goes. And the negative side of that is people are bunching up. So a team with the Rangers, let's say like Frederick and Nivlu or something like that, they would easily be able to take out my team just because my team is kind of bunched up together. So I've talked a little bit about the fights and how they went and how this team does against different teams, but let me talk about my team composition in general. I started with Black Rose Helena on the Arithmetician subjob, but I found that first of all, like this skill isn't doing too much damage. The level 4 Darka, even though it is an insta cast spell, I find that most of the time she was like it just doesn't do enough damage, and she most of the time just uses different spells anyway. So I wasn't really getting too much out of it. I've turned off her cures because I don't really want her to heal. I want Yuna to be doing all the healing, so I turned that off. So really, the only skill that she's using here is height-based dark. Um, so instead, I said, what if I just put her on Spellblade sub? And I've actually done a few damage tests. Actually, I don't have a team here, but I've done a few damage tests where I use a team like, for example, let me copy this and paste it here and talk about it here. So I've done a team like this where I put Titus and I put this card, Echoing Screams, and I've changed it to Spellblade sub, and now she has a potential to do a lot of damage even with spells like Taunting Blade or Dark Blade. Um, Sometimes, like especially if King Mont lands his Claws of the Young Lion, which reduces slash resist, these spells do a ton of damage. I've done tests where after landing that Claws of the Young Lion, her Spellblade skills do more damage than any of her other skills with a build like this though, where I have Echoing Screams instead of Trousseau. Actually, I don't use Trousseau here. I use Ramu because magic would affect both her magic attack and her slash attack when they're both based on magic. So Ramu is a better choice than Trousseau. So a team like this, I found that her Spellblade jobs do a lot more damage than her skills, like any of her main job skills. Her Spellblade skills, especially Dark Blade, does a lot more damage once you land the Claws of the Young Lion. So this is one way of running her, and I decided I didn't want to use Titus. I would rather use Yuna for the healing. So without Titus, then do I really want to put um, Echoing Screams here instead of Fenrir without Titus? I don't know. I didn't want to really do that. So I decided to go back to using Trousseau and Ramu as the vision cards, but I felt like just having Spellblade sub is not a bad idea because it gives you an alternate damage type, and especially because I'm not using um, Garvel's TMR anymore for the magic resist, I decided that having a second, like an alternative type of attack you can do is it's not a bad idea. So that's why I went with that. And as the bonus, she also now gets access to the Resist Magic skill, which increases magic resistance for allies by up to 38 magic resist at level 20. It's only level 19. I need to level it up one more, but it's a pretty powerful skill. So that's where I'm at right now. I still have a long way to go, but I feel like this is like a almost like a cooperative exercise. Like it happened with 2B. I was like, hey, I don't know how to do this. You guys gave me ideas. I went back to the drawing board and figured something out, and that's kind of what I'm doing with Black Rose Helena as well. These are all the information I found when I was playing with her in arena today. I think she's pretty good. She does like even at level 108 with weapon proficiencies, she is hitting really hard. Uh, and with Halloween Rider's TMR, she has survival ability as well because as soon as she revives, Yuna basically heals her to full, right? Uh, so anyway, I feel like these are my thoughts that I have gathered from putting in arena. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna show you the three videos now of the three arena battles that I did. The third arena battle is actually the team where I actually fought, I believe, the same player and lost. And you can see how easily he took me out. So anyway, have a watch. I'm gonna stop talking now. I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys. Bye.